Hello, this is Pamela Powers, the Tucson Progressive. Today is February 29, 2024. I'm a real news nerd. I read the news every morning, and there aren't very many news stories that make me jump out of my chair at 6:30 in the morning and say, "Hallelujah!" But that happened this morning when I read this article in the Tucson Sentinel about Attorney General Kris Mayes going after multiple corporations that own apartment complexes in the state of Arizona for rent price fixing. Yes, I saw this firsthand as a legislator. As somebody who lived outside of Maricopa County, I had to rent an apartment for 6 months, every 6 months, for 6 years. And so I was constantly, moving in and out and looking for apartments. And I would, look at the amenities. You might have seen my video in my Substack about bullet journaling. I went through great lengths of trying to figure out what's the best deal, what's the best location. And you know what I came up with, and I remember telling my husband about this, that there are little differences, but the prices were always the same. This is a great win for consumers. As she said that the landlords illegally colluded with RealPage. This is this website that they gave data to. They colluded with RealPage to artificially raise rents and conceal their conspiracy from the public. These actions, quote, artificially inflated prices and caused Phoenix and Tucson area residents to pay millions of dollars more in rent. Thank you so much. I started renting up there in December 2016, and everything was like $1,000 a month, plus APS, plus the Cox cable, plus fees. Anyway, this is great. I saw it at $1,000 a month. A couple years later, it was $1,200 a month, plus fees, plus utilities, and then $1,500 a month. So she is spot on. I am so glad that somebody noticed that. One thing, though, that the Attorney General ought to look at is these fees, because often when I was looking at the websites, there were application fees, and sometimes you had to pay an application fee that was non-refundable before you could even see what the rent was. And I thought, well, that place is going to be too expensive for me because I'm too cheap to pay a fee like that. And so, it's really, really something. I mean, one year I showed up with, a truck and helpers and my furniture to sign the lease. And I had talked with this apartment manager over email and done a video tour of the apartment and stuff like that. But I get there and all of a sudden there's more than $200 worth of fees that they're charging me on top of what they told me over the phone. This is the person that I talked to. And she said, do you want the apartment? And she goes, yeah. Then she says, then you got the fees, So definitely look at the fees, Kris Mayes, the smart apartment, the valet, garbage, all kinds of things. You expect like a pet fee or something, but they have lots of fees and so many of them are non-refundable. So, and not negotiable. Like, there was one year when my apartment building was 20 feet from the dumpster and I still had to pay for valet garbage. And I had to pay for a special garbage can. And if somebody stole my special garbage can, I had to buy another one for $75. Mind you, this was a black plastic garbage can. I had to buy another one for $75 from the apartment complex. Anyway, it's a racket, and I'm so glad that you're looking into this, Kris Mayes. I have been waiting so long for another attorney general who would actually look out for consumers and fight for the people of Arizona rather than whatever Tom Horn and Mark Bronovich thought they were doing when they were AGs. Anyway, it's a new day in Arizona, and I thank you so much for your hard work. Also, one last thing. One of the reasons that I proposed my truth in renting bill back in 2021 and 2022 was this very thing. The fees you can't get out of, not knowing your rent, not knowing what you're getting into with the contract. We need more transparency in the whole renting process. And so that's another thing, Kris Mayes, if you want to look at transparency. So thank you. Bye-bye.